4 nuclear-related uranium energy stocks for 2022. These stocks are related to the uranium sector because they are small modular reactor stocks, or they provide the new meltdown-proof nuclear fuel. And I'm going to go over these 4 stocks, and we're also going to talk about the uranium market for the last year of 2021 as we go into the new year. Happy New Year. Thanks for watching the channel. Hit the like and subscribe button below, and we'll jump right into it. So we'll really do a real quick recap of nuclear energy and uranium for the year. It's been very positive. It's been a big year. Sprott Physical Uranium Trust. These are the top, we see top 29, 30 stocks right here in uranium. All of them are up, 70+%, 70 to 500%. And since SPUT, all of these pretty much, listed are up at least 39 to 100%, and majority of these. So it's really, something in uranium. My quote for the year going to 2022 is, if you want the greatest performing asset in history, uranium, these stocks, then the price you're going to pay and the price we pay is volatility. So volatility we've seen the last few months, some of these have gone down. We've seen investor capitulation. We've seen ETF funds having to sell some of these to pay out dividends and things like that. So this is something that a lot of people didn't anticipate. They thought Sprott was going to come in and continue the run. But, as far as I can see, 2022 is going to be even more explosive than this year. Now, these are the percentages for the stocks since March 2020. And, you can see a lot of those are still up a lot. But, 2022 is going to be a big year. Same thing for Australian side of the uranium sector. This was their close for the year, and they're doing really well. But one big thing for today, Germany officially shut down nuclear power plants, so they shut down 3. Crazy thing is, this is Germany's carbon footprint. They're actually a lot higher than, say, France, which is almost full nuclear power supporting. So France carbon footprint is a lot less, as you can see, 47 versus 147 with Germany. Now, Germany, I think, is going to continue to go up as this energy crisis continues, and they keep shutting down the rest of their nuclear power plants. So all of Europe is really looking to possibly include nuclear power in its, carbon goals, and for it to be considered green energy. It's really, to me, an Eastern play over here. So although the West, we want them to continue to, support nuclear power, it's really an Eastern play. China said this year 150 reactors plus in the future, 160 if you include like India and Korea. They're both looking, South Korea looks to build new small modular reactors. So this is pretty big. Now, the 4 stocks I want to cover today, 2 of them have to do with a nuclear fuel for the future. The HALEU, the nuclear fuel that's going to power these new small modular reactors that will get us to these carbon goals. And the other 2 are the ones making the small modular reactors. And very exciting year in the next year, I think, this year in 2022 coming for these stocks. Now, the first one's LTBR, ticker symbol. It's Lightbridge. Now, they're a very small market cap, uranium related stock. They build the fuel rods that are going to be a lot safer. They burn 1,000 degrees Celsius cooler than the standard fuel rods, and they will be used in the new small modular reactors. They're really the only ones doing it. They've got a big team. This is a $20 billion addressable market for worldwide nuclear reactor fleet. And the board, they've got a bunch of smart people, obviously, on this board. Now, they do have government grants. That's how they make their money. They're not making money yet from their fuel rods, but their fuel rods, they've got a bunch of patents, and there's so much money coming to this sector. Okay, the government has, obviously this fuel rods are going to be a lot safer than the traditional ones, and they're going to need these for these small modular reactors. Now, one big thing is they've got a nice pipeline coming, and with such a small float and such a small, still group of investors investing in this with a market cap this low, they've got big growth. I mean, we're now in 2022, and we see them doing fabrication of fuel samples, and in 2023, they're going to start start to actually use this in testing in actual reactors. So this is big time. This is a big year for the stock. Like I said, this stock is very small, and they're going to be pretty much the key developer for these fuel rods for these small modular reactors that are going to be safe, meltdown proof. And this is ground floor for this stock. I really like it. I mean, no matter what, this stock, I think with just all the money flowing into ESG, it's probably going to be added to some ETFs. And it does trade on the NASDAQ, so it's not like a penny stock. They've got a lot of collaborations, Department of Energy. There's 42 bills, 23 Democrat and 19 Republican that's sponsoring nuclear power. This is going to be a lot of money flowing into not only the HALEU fuel, which they're helping create the fuel rods for, but the HALEU enrichment and R&D as well for here in the United States, research and development. So this stock with such a small market cap, cash position, they actually have about, it says 16 million. So there's only 7 million shares. So it's in the microcap index. That's pretty cool. They do have that shelf registration that was effective recently, 75 million at the market. So I do like that, but they still have, a means to bring in money without really crazy, diluting. So the market cap for Lightbridge right now is very small. As you can see, it's up for the year about 56%. We're going to track it. As you can see, it did a big run, about $14. The stock did. Now the market cap today is only 50 million US dollars. The float's only 7 million. It did hit 1460. So we're looking at easily, it's been down 54%. So it's an easy 100% upside to get back to where it was. We see a good amount of volume coming this stock's going to run crazy hard. And I think, it is in the indexes. I think it's actually going to be, a lot of ETFs are going to want to buy into this stock. So I'm very bullish on this stock, especially for 2022. It's pretty much the only stock like it for these small modular reactors. Next stock is LEU, Centrus Energy. Now I've been in this stock since it was about $4 to $5, and it ran, I think, up to $90 this year. This one's LEU, and the crazy thing about this stock is it's still down as well, 43% down, because it traded at $49 today. Now this market cap, the LEU's not even, we're still seeing this at under $1 billion. We're at 660 million right now. And this is the same thing. It's got a pretty low float, in this stock. I do like the fact that their CEO, he was Deputy Secretary of Energy at the Department of Energy. So he, this is pretty big. He knows all the pretty much people still there, I'm sure. They've got a $115 million contract to build the only U.S. uranium enrichment plant licensed to produce HALEU. So they're the only one really licensed to do this. They are a trusted nuclear fuel supplier. Their company's been around forever, and they've got a big $1 billion long-term order book for this HALEU. And this is just the tip of the iceberg. High assay, low enriched uranium is what HALEU is. So it's about 5 to 20%. And obviously this is the stuff that's going to be for the advanced nuclear reactors. It's a lot safer than anything we've seen in the past. Now this stock was heavily shorted, and I think that's really one of the reasons it ran to be $90. I saw a lot of people shorting this on Twitter last March, but this was crazy. The stock ran to $90. I still don't have my shares from $5, but I'm looking to get back into this stock, especially it's a lot cheaper now. It's down 54%. Now these are other companies out there that are making specifically reactors, TerraPower, Bill Gates, X Energy. There's going to be a big market for this, and Centrus is one of the pioneers in this, so they're going to be one of the ones really getting a lot of these contracts, and they've already got some of them, billions of dollars coming in. So the demand they're looking at for HALEU is going to be very large, and I think it's going to overshoot this. I think this is tiny compared to what it's going to be. So they say even if only a fraction of the demand in the survey for HALEU requirements, it would be very large. So 25% of the estimates, HALEU market would be worth 400 million a year by 2030 and 1.4 billion a year by 2035. I think it's going to overshoot this like crazy. The U.S. government needs this. This is the military stuff too. This is for the reactors as well. And the thing that I've talked about in the past is space. Space reactors. This is huge. This is going to be big. They have a big cash balance, $176 million in cash. which is big for the company, but it does cost a lot to make this. So I think that it's a very good stock going into 2022. Next stock we're going to talk about is Nuscale. Their ticker symbol will be SMR. This year they are going to be doing a merger. They have $232 million in cash from Spring Valley. This stock is pretty much one of the only ones out there doing small modular reactors. They're building them. I really like this stock and the company. I really hope that it can list at a pretty good price so we can get in on the ground floor. They have a bunch of big investors in the company already. They've got a bunch of employees, a bunch of patents. These are things I like to see for the stock. I've covered them already. They got a big pipeline that I think is going to be really nice for the stock itself. They're the only ones that are really approved for these small modular reactors by the NRC. They approved 77 designs. So they're the only ones really with this. It's really going to be a lot cheaper. They're going to be able to be built in 3 years versus 6-year new regular large scale nuclear reactor, and about $3 billion for 1,000 megawatt versus $9 billion. It's a lot safer. We've already got companies like Lightbridge and Centrus that are going to be filling this demand. So this is one big thing. The government's just very supportive of these new small modular reactors, which they're pictured here. I love the future of small modular reactors. It's really going to help Bitcoin mining, carbon neutral goals of these companies. I think they're going to support them a lot more. A lot of money is going to flow here. They take up so much less room. It's a lot safer. They can actually be retrofitted into coal plants. So this company, this is going to be big. It's one of my favorite stocks, I think, in the next 5 years. And this year they're going to be out there. They have a big amount of revenue that can come in from not only just selling these reactors, but support, training, and just everything down the line. So this company is going to be massive. And like I said, the opportunity, they're going to be able to retrofit these into coal plants, and there's going to be many of these small modular reactors going to be out there. I think the next company, you've heard of it, Rolls-Royce. I've covered them as well. They have a lot of money coming in from pretty much the aerospace division, defense. Now they do a lot, but this company, what recently they've been getting into really to be carbon neutral is these small modular reactors they're building. So they're going to be doing the same thing. As you can see here, they do a lot. And I've actually worked on these engines before when I was an engineer with the United States Coast Guard. So I do know they're a very good company. And the small modular reactor sector, they're looking to hit that target in the next 8 years. It really took a hit March of 2020 last year. We're still down. It hit a high. We're still down 18% for the year. But if you're looking at the market cap specifically for Rolls-Royce, it's pretty high. It's 13 billion US dollars, 14 billion. Now, there's a lot of shares here, but the thing about it is this company is going to be bringing a lot of cash flow. And the presentation I showed you was in euros, so it's actually a lot more than dollars they'll be bringing in. And especially when things get back to normal around the world and travel gets back to normal, this stock's going to see a rebound from that. But in the future, at $1.66, even though there's a lot of, 8 billion plus shares, this stock could trade again at $20+ with the small modular reactor future. So this stock is going to be on my radar. I think it's a great long-term stock for sure, and it's going to be on my radar. They've got such a big growth that they could actually have. Rolls-Royce and Nuscale are really going to be the pioneers in the small modular reactor sector, and they're publicly traded. So, they've got a lot more stuff here at Rolls-Royce, but this is really what caught my attention. And I think there's big upside in all of these stocks.